Hello world, how's it going? Hope you guys are all doing great. If not, as always, I hope it gets better for you. And welcome to a Friday Night Live Q&A where you can ask your freshwater aquarium keeping questions, whatever it may be. That's what we're here for. Hey, I'm kind of rushing getting here. Did you know you had something on the stove?
Yep.
Okay. Lady LRB, she's got to work overtime at her work here.
So she's making coffee.
So, yeah, she's making coffee, she said. She'll be in the background doing her thing because that's kind of her little office. And this is her plant room, which we still need to do a plant room tour at some point. I have been working on tons of content for you guys here. And I've been staying pretty steady with pretty much something every day coming out. And more on the weekends too, so lots of content coming. Just keeping you guys up with everything that's been going on here because a lot has been moving fast and it's been getting pretty wild. And my members, we were supposed to do a live yesterday, but our internet in Florida was completely down, couldn't do anything. So glad to have that for this Friday to be able to do this. And members, we'll definitely catch up on what's been going on because this last week was just bananas. But that's not what we're here for. That's not what the whole spill is to talk about me here. The whole spill here, until you guys ask me questions, is to answer your questions. But I will ramble until then, for those who know me. And if you do got a question, always good to put the question mark behind it. And hello everybody in the chat, I see you guys all in here. Well, let me make sure I get in the live chat as well. You are welcome for the goldfish tank. Glad you liked it, Stephen Smith. You know, it doesn't have to be as difficult as some people say it is. I guess there is no question so far, so I mean that's pretty chill. How's the internet quality? I was kind of curious how it would be tonight since it was like absolutely nothing yesterday. You love the ramble? Okay, I'm glad you like the ramble. At least somebody does. Dane Bolton says, with a tap TDS of 350 plus, does it make sense to mix 50-50 with RO in my testing? This should be around 200 TDS, 30-gallon long, no filter black water. So, definitely yes. So if you mix that 50-50, so you got, well, I would say it's pretty hard tap water at 350 plus. I mean, you could probably grow some stalagmites and stalactites out of that stuff after a time. And I'm sure you probably get some caking on your tank and scaling and whatnot. So if you do blend that in with like the 50-50 RODI water, and you get that real soft water blended with that real hard water, and does come out around neutral, and that would add just a little acidity, that it'll actually break down that scaling, it'll break down that mineralization, and it is more idea as far as like the best water to keep for any fish, plants, and shrimp, because you're getting the mineralization, but you're also getting that acidity ability to break down and be better absorbed by plants and well, animals or fish, whatever you want to call them. To me, they're like animals. I mean, shoot, they're living creatures, so. But yeah, definitely, Dane, definitely. Especially if you're going with the black water and those botanicals, as you mentioned you were doing, it would definitely make it even more acidic. So watch that over time. If you're not doing a whole lot of water changes over time, those botanicals and that acidity, since it's already past that neutral scale underneath it to where the acidity is already working. Well, think about like acidity breaks things down over time, and it will break that mineralization down over time. Outside and Aquatic says, ask all the questions, either tag LRB or put a lot of question marks to make it easy to see. I definitely read those ones with a lot of question marks for sure. JP Jeffrey says, I'm trying to breed white clouds with the basket method in a 20-gallon high. how do I provide food for the fry below the basket? Thanks, Lucas. So does the basket cover the whole top? If the basket doesn't cover the whole top, you just feed away from the basket. And or, yeah, I would just try to feed away from the basket, not really try to overfeed the basket, because that could lead down roads you don't want to go down. And if you can use any live food method, like say a no filter white cloud breeding tank, you could get those microorganisms like I show in my shorts and stuff and in my videos. I mean, shoot, that'll keep them fed. Crystal clear internet, awesome. And I did add Daphnia to the website too. And thank you everybody for your orders. It's been absolutely awesome and helpful. I've seen quite a few come in just these last couple days. And I've been getting, there's more on there than there has been in a long time. And it's just gonna exponentiate. It's gonna be awesome. Brighton Lightcap says, plant question. I have a bioactive setup I'm doing for my little girls. They're getting a snake. What plants are recommended for a temperature snake setup? Kelly King to be exact. Okay, so as far as snakes go, I have no clue. And the terrarium builds, like, she does all these plants here. Like, I do the fish tank stuff. She does the plant stuff. So all those cool looking plants in the fish room, that's her. And
but I don't know much about snakes either.
Yeah, I mean, I guess any of these would work for
I don't know.
I mean, because you don't keep snake in cold setups. I mean, these are all going to be like room temperature or hotter, They don't have heat problems, do they?
I think like begonias would probably do really well.
Begonias? That would be pretty wild.
They do really well in terrarium setup.
Huh. But are there any that don't like heat? Not really.
Like, majority of houseplants are all tropical plants, so.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, most of them really do enjoy heat.
I think you would be good. Pretty much anything within here. And, yeah, as far as the names, I don't know. Go look at the website, though. There's a ton of them listed. Well, thank you, Outside and Aquatics. I appreciate that. And for posting that. Outside and Aquatics says snakes and humidity are important, right? I think so, to a point. I don't know. I'm not big on like snakes myself personally. Like as a kid, I used to catch them, but I don't know. I don't really like to play around with snakes. Even though the talk for the last club meeting was for these like water snakes by this guy named Mike Clarkson, and they were some really cool water snakes that are like always, they're fully aquatic. Like they don't come off and get out of the land and all that stuff. So it was really wild. I don't know what the snakes are called, but they do have those for the aquarium, which is really, really wild. Dun, 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 dun. Joe MTL says, are you planning to do summer tubs? If yes, how do you deal with mosquitoes and wild animals trying to eat the fish? So, Joe, we're actually this week, and we're going to start diving into that because it has been getting warmer here where I'm at, and that whole season's about to kick off. And I do have a lot of aquariums outside and lots of space for ponds. So I'm not going to necessarily need to do tubs because I could either do aquariums or I could do ponds because I don't have to worry about freezing. And yeah, I'm going to be having a couple pond videos for you guys this weekend. So stay tuned for that, and I will have more of that out because, I love my outdoor tub and pond and whatever you want to call it. Absolutely love it. And I got some cool ideas for this year too. Now that I got like literally a huge sandbox to play in. Like living a kid's dream. Marcy Oathouse says, what type of water flow do mollies like? So if you do use a filter or want some water flow, I keep all my aquariums no filter, same with my mollies. But they are a very active fish, so I would say some water flow is not bad for them and like gives them some exercise too. I would say anytime that you're using this goes for really any fish, whether it be mollies, rainbow fish, any fish really. Even if it's like the most powerful high flow river fish, you've always got to give them some kind of space that gets them out of the flow. So like a rest break area in your tank. As long as you have rest break areas in your tanks, you'll be fine with whatever flow. Because back in the day, I mean, I used to get all into the flow stuff, like hardcore. And you will notice where your fish have that space to hang out too. So say you got high flow in an aquarium and you notice your fish huddle in a certain area, like maybe on the back side of a crypt or something. That will kind of give you the space suggestion of the area and how big it needs to be, or maybe if you want to give them a bigger break area from the current. So say put a bigger rock, say if they seem like they're smashed in that one space too much, they're huddled up too much, you may see too much aggression in there because they can't all get off the treadmill of the filter and water flow and want to break, so that can cause aggression. So if you put up bigger breaks and more breaks within that flow, then you'll actually get better behavior out of your fish and maybe some less territorial like behaviors. But you never know too. Some fish, like even some of the most peaceful fish, like there's some tetras out there that can just be mean. And they'll be like, oh, this is my space, you get out of it. So it all depends. Sweet Lady Diane. She deserves the wave.
Of course.
But yeah, I like that question actually, because we don't talk about flow a whole lot on here normally, because everybody just assumes that I'm just like a no filter guy. And you know, that is a lot of what I do, so I mean, why not talk about it? But I do not mind talking about like flow things, filter things. I've been through them all. I hope that helped answer your question. And a big reason why I don't like to have filter on my mollies though is when they do have babies, like it's so much easier to get the babies because they all hatch out into like one corner and they're not all flung around the aquarium. Aquatic Habitats Cove says, how are your neighbor's fish and fish room doing? You know what? He says it's doing good, and we really need to do a tour, because I was thinking about that earlier today. Like, the fact that he set up that whole fish room from, like, he ain't never kept a tank before, and he went gung-ho to, like, I don't know, 38 tanks or 60 tanks? I don't even know how many tanks he threw in there real quick, and did it full-on LRB method. And he says they're doing good, and I don't know. We need to get over there, though, for sure. Definitely need to get over there. He's just been working a lot. He's been working down a state, and then now he's come back and working late night shift. So he's been busy. But we definitely need to catch up with him, for sure. I did get time to talk to him a little bit out by the pond last weekend. Gary Steen says, no filter leaves more time for activities. Indeed, indeed. They start thinking about each other and not so much the treadmill. Dun, 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 dun. Aquatic Habitats Co. says, I always ask about your GMs. How's the tribe doing? The tribe's doing good. If you're talking about the Glossolepis maculosus, Actually, I need to get them moved. I got 2 trios that need moved. I just need a good space to put them because I'm like, actually, what I need to do, I'm actually waiting for because I have been doing this content, but I've got to wait to do all that to make content out of doing it. So it takes more time. Like, I wish I could just hammer out, like, just getting stuff done a lot of times, but you know, I would kick myself if I didn't video it for you guys and share it with you guys, especially for those who are interested in it. So I do have to hopefully get to that this week. It is on a post-it in front of my face to where I'm trying to hammer them things out. That I'm not in such a build mode. It's been so nice to have more time for content and really focus on the channel and cleaning things up. Blue Lagoon Pet Store says, you ever do meet and greets in local fish stores? So, whoa, hello Wesley. How's it going, buddy? Y'all know Wesley's speaking in the tribe.
I didn't see Mom in the back.
I know, look at that. Repping that LRB shirt. But, so, I mean, I have done like club meet and greets, not so much like fish store meet and greets. There has been a couple times where I have met people who know me from fish stores, which is cool. Especially when they're like managers and stuff. And, but not as like a official, like, hey, I'm gonna be here, come meet me here. You know, I could almost do something like that this weekend, Sarah.
What?
I don't know. I could almost go do that, a meet
Boo
and greet or something. I don't know. I ain't really never done that. I don't know if my channel's big enough to really draw many people for a meet and greet. No, like, I don't know. It would be kind of cool to do something like that at some
You
point.
probably have to plan ahead more than like tomorrow.
Yeah, I would have to plan ahead more. Jay Oliver's Guppies and Aquatics, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thank you, thank you. Says, can't wait to hang out with the LRB family again. Keep up the great work. Well, same to you, buddy, and it's been awesome seeing you just really grow over there. You keep up the awesome work as well, and thank you so much for the support. You got anything to talk about fish for, Wesley?
No.
No? That's what we're on here for. Man, you are getting heavy, dude.
Oh, wait, that was your...
Oh, that's my bad toe.
Oh, no, wait. I'm super crap. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, here, I can't really sit like this, dude. You're heavy. Alright, Dane Bolton says, have you ever bred Cyprichromis leptosoma? I have a massive colony breeding them for a long time. So I haven't personally, but that is a really cool fish. Absolutely love those fish. I gotta get my cichlids and stuff all organized, so I know what kind of space I'm working with and whatnot. That goes with a lot of my tanks right now.
Oh, sorry, trash can.
Shrimp Sanctuary says, will you be heading to the Charlotte, North Carolina Aquatic Expo this year? So I would really like to go, but man, I don't know. There's a lot going on around that time in other places that I want to go, and plus got some family stuff, and you know, I would love to because the International Shrimp Contest is going to be there.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, you didn't know that existed?
Yeah, I didn't.
Well, that's
Oh,
awesome.
buddy.
Did you? I'm pretty sure I told you many times that I've won awards for that, and you're like, oh, don't care.
And before, when you were scrolling up, I think I saw a message that said message redacted.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes people redact their message. They will retract them. Yeah. But yeah, that exists. You've actually seen it before.
Better.
Remember that one I was judging at? That was a US wave one, but that last one I was at, that was in Daytona. Thomas G, thank you so much for the 678. 678, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Says, can we have the non-members cover their ears for a second so you can tell members yesterday's tea? Just kidding. Oh, you know. If only it would work that way. But no, I was thinking maybe Saturday. We'll see here Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to try to crunch something in special for you members since I wasn't able to make it yesterday. But I do have something nice planned for you guys. Something a little different. And also catch you up on the tea of what all's been going on. Because shoot, I just hope I can remember all of what's been going on by tomorrow, because there has been just so much craziness, like every day of like this, that, and like it's all been good things, like total dopamine hits. And I'm gonna have a long night ahead of me for what I got planned for this weekend. But anyways, I've got something nice planned for you members, so just stay tuned. Alright, scroll, and hopefully I didn't miss anybody's questions. I think I'm doing pretty good here. Whoa, that is bright, dude. That is way too bright. A little down, a little less.
Oh, okay.
Alright, a little more.
That good?
Yeah, good enough.
Okay.
Thanks. Luca Brazzi says, got rid of my cyanobacteria in my 65-gallon with bacteria treatment and water changes. Now I have light brown diatom algae on some of the plants. Should I leave this alone? So yeah, I would leave that alone. I would not treat for that. So what more than likely happen is your beneficial bacteria, like your normal good beneficial bacteria load, probably died out and now it's starting to recycle. And kind of like a new tank. When you get a new tank and you go through that diatom phase, you kind of went back to that new tank phase. So I'd definitely just leave it alone, let it cycle through. Of course, you can scrape it off or rub it off with your fingers. Like say if it's a nubius or something, you might want to rub it off with your finger, because then it could end up suffocating the leaf. Or you can get like a autosynclus or something to eat it up real quick. Autosynclus, love those. Diatoms. I don't usually recommend fish for doing jobs, but if you're into that sort of thing. Cali Kev says, Lucas, how are those mascara barbs? Those mascara barbs are doing good. They've actually been, since I've had their juveniles, and well, they're getting to be young adults now, and with them, they've they seem like they're breeding a lot. I haven't seen any babies, but there's so much guppy grass in there. I would think I would have saw something. But no. I think they got too much guppy grass, and I think I need to black it out. And I've got some other plans too, but they're doing good. And good to see you around, Kev. Johnny Best says, Wesley, do you want to trade eyes with me? You have nice eye color.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Mel Wool says, I have a golden wonder killie named Kiwi. Just got him 2 females, although he seems to like the female Gardnera more. Can they crossbreed? Just curious. So the
Oh, Mom, what's that?
You know what?
Something.
They may be able to crossbreed. I'm not sure if they can or not. I don't know. And I don't know how the community would feel about that either. I don't know. I've seen Golden Wonder Killies mate with Siamese algae eaters. Which is one of my first videos on YouTube. Actually, might be my first video on YouTube. Is that just so boring, Wesley?
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. He's like, fish, 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 fish. Is that what it sounds like?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Whoa.
Go off.
Now, if we were talking about Roblox. Let's see. But, yeah, I mean, I could see. Killifish are just weird like that, Mel. I don't know if I would personally be trying to breed them together. Randy Coach says, any more dwarf rainbows getting stocked anytime soon, Lucas? So, I had a few coming up. I mean, I've still got some young fry, but they are still so young because they're just such slow growers. But somebody emailed us asking for the small ones, and you know, they sold out before they could even get to the website. Whoa, buddy. Dennis Ingalls says, Lucas, what rainbow do you recommend for 30, 30, 30 black sides and backed? I heard they need longer tanks. So nice cube tank. Oh my god. They do prefer, I don't know. I keep mine in a 20 high, so you know that's a lot. That's smaller than what you got. They do like space up and down. They like space just all around. As much space as you can get, always the better for them. But 30 by 30 is plenty big for them. And really, you can go with any kind of rainbow fish that you want. Aquatic Habitats Cove says, what difference have you noticed between your fish in the outdoor aquariums versus the indoor color and breeding? So I haven't got to do a whole lot with a lot of varieties outside yet. As far as here in Florida, now outside in Indiana, I don't know why I say that because I have done so many outside in up north and stuff. As far as like keeping fish outdoors, it's absolutely amazing. Like when you get that natural sunlight to hit them and those natural bugs that they eat all day, there's definitely a difference to them and their vitality, and you can definitely see it within them. And they're always in full breed mode because they're eating real life bugs all day long. Because those bugs are constantly attracted to that water, and that just attracts the fish, and everybody lives good. But yeah, no, definitely keeping fish outdoors is what taught me a lot of how I keep fish indoors. I'll put it that way. Dean Stevenson says, do you think the Daphnia magna you sell would be small enough for newly hatched baby axolotls? The whole baby brine shrimp thing is such a hassle. So with the Daphnia magna, it does come in different sizes. So that's why I like the magna, is because it covers more phases of something's life cycle. Now for the axolotls, I don't know 100% sure like how big a baby axolotl fry is. I've yet to get there because I've got nothing but female axolotls right now. Definitely want to do that at some point. But with the magna Daphnia, if you have it cycled out and they've been growing, you've got Daphnia from egg to little bitty Daphnia, baby Daphnia, all the way up to full adult Daphnia. That's why I like the magna Daphnia, because it's like you get the moina within that magnum because it covers the whole realm. It's like level of it all. Know what I mean? Because they don't just go from egg to adult. No, I wish I could ship to Canada, but I still cannot. Juvenile barbs eating the younger ones, maybe, possibly. Dane Bolton says, how can we convince the fish world that algae and mulm are beneficial, LOL? Well, I think it all depends on how people want to keep their aquarium. So there's a lot of people who want that aquarium for like that showcase piece, just like Dutch style planted tanks, or just a real nice scape or something to play with. So there's so many ways to keep aquariums. I love having aquariums like that myself. But when it comes to breeding and stuff like that, like mulm and algae is just wonderful, absolutely beautiful. And when you understand the job that algae does, it makes you appreciate it more, because it does help us from certain like impurities within our aquarium and our waters and stuff that it takes care of, and it helps control. But you know, it all depends on what you want to do with aquariums, how you want to keep aquariums, like how far in the rabbit hole are you in on the thing. And that's why I try to cover a lot of all this stuff within my channel. Have for years. And H says, question for Lady LRB. How do you keep your rooted cuttings from rotting? My rooted pothos from LRB is so healthy and beautiful, but when I try rooting on with my own, the aquarium, it rots.
I did answer her in the chat, but I will go ahead and answer because
Okay.
that I usually root mine out in either like cups or jars. Not that it should make any difference because it's the same water, but I wait until they've got a root on them before I would put them in an aquarium.
So you wait for it to root a little bit into the jar, then once that root's on, then
About
you
2
put them
inches
in an
of
aquarium.
roots is
Okay.
usually when it's ready to, whether you're going to put it in soil or in an aquarium or something else, some other
So
type
it's kind of like
substrate.
what you would do with fish fry. So like say you got young fry, you want to keep them in a smaller area so they can like get used to that area and then put them in a bigger
That makes
area.
sense, yeah. Because I've shown you where some of them almost like create their own mold and substrate in these little jars. It's
Yeah.
kind of amazing.
Yeah,
So
that's
they
cool.
do, I guess, appreciate that smaller space. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the
Consider
essence of nature that's just around us. Da-da-da. Do I raise Moina as well? Richard, I don't. Go with the Flow Aquatics. I don't, because I don't really need it. Because I've got like Moina within that cycle of the Magna. Mel Wall says, I have a male Golden Wonder Gilly. How did I get back to that? Or did you ask me again? 'Cause I know I didn't miss that many questions in between that, did I? Ain't no way. Anyways, I think I'm back caught up.
Are you?
No, not at all.
Like, I see more.
Itch Thieves Aquatics says, I have some Lake Turkana jewel cichlids. I was thinking about using some old live rock from a saltwater tank. What do you think about that? I definitely think you can. Shouldn't be a problem. I'd give them a good rinse and yeah, shouldn't be an issue. Shouldn't be an issue. Mel says, tell Kiwi the community would frown on it. His body, his choice, lol. To be fair, his Wonder Girls have some growing to do still. Yeah, I mean, you never know who those fish will pair to buddy up with. I've seen some very odd pairings throughout my life of fish keeping, which is really neat. EJ and Nightcard says, I'm still battling staghorn algae, 40-gallon planted. Grows on the sponge filter, the plants, and the output on the HO back, or on the hang on the back. Stocking is 6 peat buffers, 6 serpatetras, some cories, and autos help me. So do you have any driftwood in there? Driftwood can also be a huge feeder to staghorn algae. And I don't know what it's feeding on, but whatever it is feeding on, I would say just keep at it. Eventually it's going to eat all of whatever it's feeding off of. I mean, that's how I always got rid of it. Like, I'd have it pop up. And this was usually, like, in my nicer tanks. Like, in my dirty tanks, in my no-filter, like, tanks I keep now, I don't ever see that stuff. Ever. But if I had, like, a filter and, like, clean water, yeah, that stuff would pop up eating something. And it was always just, like, take care of it each time I did a water change. And then eventually it would just go away. And it's really easy to get rid of because it doesn't like get wild. It usually sticks to itself. Let's see. Sorry if I missed anybody's questions. Trying to do my best to speed read all this and scroll through it. Kind All Night says, how do you cure wood that you find for your aquarium? So, well, I guess I have a couple times picked some stuff out, but you don't want to grab anything that is like near waterways, especially if it was in the water, because you're going to have all kinds of things living in it, unless you just don't care about that. But obviously you want to cure them. You can let the sun do it. Bleach them out, radiate them. That'll clean a lot of stuff off of them naturally. Of course, you could rinse it and scrub it and all that stuff. Then you could either soak it for a while, or you could pin it down. If you don't want to wait to soak your wood, you can get a rock or something and pin it down. And you could also drill like a tile plate to it, which a regular drill bit, you can just drill it right through a little piece of tile, put a little bolt on it or screw right through the wood. Then you got a nice base for your driftwood. That's another way you can do it. Outside In Aquatic says, this is probably for Lady RV. What is the best indoor tree?
I also answered in chat because I'm ahead of you, but that's okay. I suggested ficus or rubber trees, or what else did I say in there? There was one other one.
Yeah, ficuses are popular.
Right, they're the most common.
Yeah.
Fiddle leaf fig. Those are really popular too, but kind of pricey. But also
Oh,
you
yeah,
have that
so
Norfolk
much.
pine out in the barn. That's a tree. They usually are sold as potted plants, kind of small, but shoot, South Florida they can grow on the ground. Not up here though.
Okay. And I know it's not an aquarium question, but who was that was asking? Now I missed it. Oh, Spaghetti Nona says, good to know, Lady LRV, where do you cut on the pothos stem?
I knew there was another question I missed too. Thank you. For the pothos, I mean, it's just at any nodes. I usually try to keep 2 nodes on them when you cut them off. They say you only need 1, but I find you have better success. They have, one node can focus on leaves while the other node's focusing on roots. So if you only have 1 node, it doesn't quite know what direction to grow.
Interesting. And the Daphne are already sold out on the website, Blase says. Yeah. They went quick. We'll see how, we have to check again next week, because I'll have to see if they don't eat up all my Daphne. I might have to set up some Daphne at specific tanks if I really want to set it. That's why I've never really offered it on the website, because they kind of know that I wasn't going to be able to keep up with y'all. Because it's good stuff. Shrimp Sanctuary, what's up, my guy? Thank you so much for $20 super chat. Appreciate you. Says, thank you for sharing your time and knowledge with us. Keep it up. Ain't the easiest. Hope to see you again sometime again in the U.S. If you all ever swing by Singapore, happy to host. So, Ben, yes, nice to see you, brother. I was actually just watching your channel the other day on some Caradinas. You were talking about some myths and stuff with them. So really cool to see you in here and see you supporting the channel as well. So thank you. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to see each other again. This guy's been doing some really cool stuff over there with Caradina species. Or Caradina, excuse me. I'm an old dog. That's how we used to pronounce it back in the day, and God, I got so used to saying it like that. Some people are like, Caradina, kind of Caradina. It's like beta and beta, but even though I know it's beta. But, yeah. Jim W12 says, do you ever give your shrimp a calcium supplement? So, I do. I think calcium supplements are good for them. I get it naturally through the lime rock that is here in my yard. And I can actually just crush up the lime rock and they'll graze and eat off of it. Or I can just put it into the aquarium. Wow, I am so far behind. So sorry if I missed questions here. Aquatic Habitats Cove says, do you know the percentage of where your viewers are from? I'm in Toronto. I can vouch for many that I want your shrimp and fish here as well. So actually, about 50% of my viewers are in America. And then I think India is the next. Canada used to be the next, but I think you guys are like 3rd or 4th or 5th on the list now. I'm not sure. It's probably like, oh, we don't want these Canadians listening to these Americans with that Trudeau you got over there. But don't get me started on that. That's actually not a laughing matter. But anyways, I wish I could ship to Canada. I've had so many people ask me so many times. I absolutely love Canada. I got to do a talk in Windsor one time. And those people treated me great. But yeah, only 50% in the US. It's very crazy. Dun, 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 dun. I need to... It would be nice to have something more for international viewers. Maybe we can set something up for that. I know I had the merch there for a while, but I didn't like how Spring Teas was treating people and their business, really. So I don't know, I quit promoting that. Cali Kev says, now that Fish Room is basically done, when's the giant swing set you're gonna build gonna start? You know, Cali Kev? Wesley and I talked about that the other day, and yeah, that's what he wants. He says he wants to start with the seesaw. Dun-dun-dun. But hey, put that on the list too.
I vote for swing.
Yeah, well, Wesley's vote trumps your vote.
I know.
Terry LaPierre says, would Imperial Tropical be a good place to buy American flagfish? I mean, I don't see why not. They probably get them wild caught, or have a pond that grows them out. Dun, dun. Dane Bolton says, what Shelleys do you have, and will any be on the website anytime? So I've actually got a ton of Shelleys, but I actually quit putting them on the website because they're such a pain in the butt to catch. Like, such a pain to catch. Like, part of me don't even want to keep cichlids anymore. Because I love to watch them. Like, I'll watch them. They are a real pain to catch. So I've got to figure out a system. I do eventually got to tear down that pond, which has, I don't even know how many Shelleys in there. At least 100 plus Shelleys in there. I might have to do something with them sometime. I don't know. I should probably put some on. Or send me an email and we can probably work something out. Because I am going to move out a big plant that's in my way from catching them right now. At some point this week. So I may have them more opened up to be able to make them catchable. Hey George. We3, I see you. Let's see. Adrian's Fish Room. How's it going, buddy? Said, good day, Lucas. Lady LRB. I'm just wondering what temperature would you think would be the lowest I should let my barbs get to outside before I bring them into the fish room for this winter. So, oh my God. You guys make it so hard to talk about what I'm not going to do or what I'm going to do. But anyways... with the barbs, I haven't personally had them outside, but I want to now, being Australian, you're thinking Celsius, so you might have to do like some conversions here.
He can handle.
But 40 Fahrenheit, if the days are gonna be 70, if it's like a spread between 50 Fahrenheit and 70, I think it's all right. If like their high gets up underneath 70 for too long, I think it would be an issue. And if their low goes to like 40 or something, it would probably be an issue. So I don't know what that is in Celsius. But yeah, that's like risky. Like, even that's kind of like, if you want to put a buffer on that, that's like, I don't know. In my opinion, now, there's still some testing to be done. I don't really want to do it myself, but let's see. But either way, I hope you get them out in time. And you know, it's always better safe than sorry, too. That's my motto. When it comes to certain things like that, always better safe than sorry. Yeah, Chris Rusecker, you heard that. Oh, my. Let's see. Scroll. EJ Nightcar says, I do have wood in the tank, but the staghorn only grows on the tips. I'm spot treating with peroxide. Yeah, so if it's a softer wood, it just feeds that staghorn. So, you know, it may just be part of your maintenance. Like, really, manual removement is almost just as good, or just keep spot treating with that peroxide. It's part of your system now, buddy. Stephen Smith says, will Daphnia bother my Blue Dream shrimp? No, they won't. Actually, your Blue Dream shrimp and shrimp can eat off the Daphnia. I've had them coexist and just absolutely all blow up together.
Like actually blow up.
Like freaking exploded in the fish room.
Like actually exploded.
Yeah, you don't even know how exciting it really is out there.
Oh.
You didn't even know about this international shrimp contest.
No,
I mean, in his
Can't
defense,
believe
that
that.
happened when he was like a year old.
Yeah.
When you won your awards.
I don't know if it was that long ago.
Okay, well, a while.
Yeah. Let's see. Once again, trying to get all these questions. What diet do you recommend for guppies? Mulm, algae, really anything you can feed them. They love to just eat. They're good eaters. Like, I use Tetracolor tropical granules, but it's probably not as healthy as something like Keeping Fish Simple's Bug Buffet.
Hey Dad, can you make a poll on the live stream to tell people if I'm cool or not?
If you're cool or not, you need a cool gauge to figure out if you're cool or not.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Tell me
almost.
they don't tell you off
But that's
the-
almost uncool in itself. Like, don't you already know you're cool?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So why you need them to tell you you're cool?
I just want to know.
Just curious?
Saying I'm cool or not.
Oh, well, I don't think you can make polls in here. I don't see an option for that. They don't have that option.
Oh.
But I think you're pretty cool.
Henry says you're super. There you go. That's better than cool.
Nice.
Alright. Yeah, once again, sorry I'm missing your question. I'm just all over this chat right now. Let's see. Scroll. If there is questions. Oh, I read that one. Caught up. Emperor of Tang saying... Emperor of Tang. That's a good name. Says, how can I grow my plants in sand with anaerobic conditions happening? Because my plants will just rot from the roots, yet I have trumpet snails who move the sand around. So you are getting a lot of root rot already, or are you just thinking that that's going to happen? Because really the sand substrate will oxidize and have gases within itself that it creates, and just whole full cycles within it. Now if you do layers of substrate, sometimes when the layers aren't quite copacetic to the plant and they go from like sand to like a harder substrate, then that can cause root rot, because then they have nowhere to go and they get more root bound and they kind of get confused. Like, I did this substrate lasagna tank one time, and I did grow a lot of plants in it and a lot of good plants, but I did notice that the roots would like get confused at certain levels, that when it would start hitting that clay.
But Dad, can you try and find a way to do a poll?
No, dude, they don't have them, man.
One.
Don't worry about it.
I don't know.
Someone
Have you ever
said-
seen them on a live on YouTube?
Yes.
No way. What? Oh, here's some filters though. Ooh, I forget about dance party and bubbles. Woo, woo. We used to have LRB dance parties all the time. Get down, Funky Town.
Things are crazy.
Oh, classic. Who here remembers those from back in the day? Oh wait, no, don't end the stream.
Yeah, don't.
Oh no.
Don't
Where you got
do
me
that.
going here, Wesley?
Don't do
What is
that.
this button?
What's this
Oh,
button?
that's a highlight. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, let's not mess with that. All right, but hey, nice little bubble party there for a little while.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the chat said you're cool, bro.
Nice.
All right, and Darlene Stink says, I sent an email on Sunday, but no answer. I need to place my order, but I didn't want to until I see if you have a male Kamaka rainbow that I can buy from you. No, we don't have any male Kamakas. Did you get Darlene's email,
I did
sir?
not. I did not. So I'll check on that. I checked.
I know
this
she
before
was
the
going
stream.
through them before the stream, yeah. Yeah, we don't have any Kamakas. Earth Girl says, do you have any fish on your website that do well in acidic water? My water is acidic. I have bettas, cories, and glow lights right now in 29 gallon. Like how acidic? So my tanks, they're all at 170 TDS, which is on the more acidic side. And most fishes you can keep around at that area. Pretty much all fish you can. And there's not really a whole lot of specific fish that can't handle like really low TDS unless you're like getting into cichlids. Supposedly, I don't know. Even though I have softer water, there's mineralization in it. I haven't had any issue with cichlids and their breeding. EJ Nightcar says, sorry for all the questions, but do you ever have the original 1975 antler? Been looking for some, but people are wanting 50 a pair plus shipping. The original 1975 antlers, like the wild antlers, like the regular black bars. If that's the case, that's wild to hear because those things used to be like a dime a dozen. That's how the hobby will go sometimes. That's how the hobby will go. This chair is extremely uncomfortable.
Then get a new
I
one.
have a cushion on it. Yeah, I know. I wish we could.
There's 2 cushions over there. Go get
Oh.
one.
Thanks, Mom.
Sagana Nona says Spaghetti Nona says, I still have a swing set. My husband put a bench porch swing on for me. Oh, well, that's awesome. You put questions there? I read it. Oh, thanks. I don't want to sit on that, though. Where's that little green cushion?
I'll get it.
Thanks, bud. Alright, scroll. Chasier, Pishier, I don't know how to say your name. I hope I did alright there, though. Says, ever use Seekin Polyguard? Few meds available in Canada except Melifix have guppy with white patches, not ick. So white patches are usually a skin coat, secondary infection kind of issue. Melifix can kind of help that, but I would honestly just like let it be. Beneficial bacteria can actually help that too. I can imagine the Polyguard would, because I think that's like a skin coat kind of stress reliever, like conditioner. I don't know if you guys have Fritz up there too. They have like a stress guard that works really well for that kind of thing. Flood City Fish Keeper says, Fins and Fury sightless, Joey and Rod and you and Troy from Cichlid Bros. Is he your match? Well, word on the street says, I guess that guy wanted some of the heat, so I think that's my boy. No, I'm pretty sure that's my boy. But yeah, so that's on there now. Full bio and everything. Joey's still putting it all together. Pay-per-view hasn't came out yet, so haven't really mentioned it much. I was kind of waiting for the pay-per-view, but you can still get venue tickets while they last. And if you go to my bio, you can actually support me through my bio. if you go click on the fighters for the Fence and Fury. So yeah, old Troy from Cichlid Bros and I will be going fisticuffs. A gentlemanly match of slap them around. So yeah, it should be fun with Troy. I don't really know the guy. I tried to talk to him a little bit, but we'll see how he is. Night Owl Aquatics. I was supposed to fight Josh of OFR, but he bowed out because, well, it's a long story. Let's just say, yeah, I don't even know why I mentioned that. Night Owl, because I don't even want to tell the whole story, but those who know it, know it. Night Owl Aquatics says, LRB, I've vended plenty of music fests and shows over the years, but I'm never an aquatic show. I'm doing Aquarama in the morning. Any tips?
Nice.
So, you're vending the Aquarama? So if you're vending the Aquarama and doing a vending at a show or of a festival, definitely one of the top things to kind of prepare yourself. If you got any dirty filters, make sure you take you some dirty, malmy water to put it into your new aquariums that you do set up. If you plan on setting up aquariums, some people bag stuff. I'm a big fan of like maybe... I actually used to just stick everything into a tank, fish it out, let people pick theirs because, I mean, that's what they love to do. That's what they go to the fish store and do. So I'd do that, but with the plants, I would have them pre-bagged. And you can also do that with the fish as well. But just be careful if you're using water at events. Make sure you have dechlor and like a backup beneficial bacteria and stuff for your aquarium. And then just try to make it as nice and more of your own style, you know. Do what fits good for you. Make your mark. Kind of signature yourself. I mean, some people like to look at what others do and copy that too, but I don't know. I think the beauty part about doing your own business and even keeping aquariums is that you get to have your own style with it, and you get to show like your own personality or your own like style through aquariums and just how you like go about yourself. Evergreen Sykes says, what's really the difference between having a low flow sponge filter versus filterless? Still gets lots of mold and good bacteria everywhere, plus extra in the sponge. Is there really a downside? So, is there really a downside? I wouldn't say there's a downside, just cost and space and maintenance for the sponge filter. You could probably keep higher bio loads that way. And that's about it. So, yeah, I wouldn't say there's any like real downsides to it besides the maintenance. That's why I don't really. Could you imagine trying to maintain 300 aquariums? 3G said you're a rock star, bro. No, he's on a mission. Oh, now, Danikin. Don't start with that. Steven Smith says, did you ever think you would be doing a pay-per-view? It blows me away. Congratulations, Lucas. So, yeah, no. I mean, I think my face got kind of red there. I never thought in my life I would be doing this or a pay-per-view or anything like this because, yeah, who would have ever guessed? Who would have ever guessed that this would even be an opportunity? But I've always kind of wanted to do something like that because of just my upbringing and always being into martial arts. And I've never really done like boxing, just specifically boxing, where I didn't have to worry about chokes and kicks and stuff like that. And so that should be interesting because it is more of a technical sport. But I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want Troy to get like wind of like anything I know. Keep him in the dark. Make him think I'm old and slow. Da, 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 da. You know, because really when it comes down to it, a lot of it's mental. A lot of it. Of course, you got to have the physicalities to back it up, but just trying to stay flexible here. But yeah, I would have never guessed. It's pretty wild to see like the poster and everything being made. And where you at, Mr. Placo? LOL Xanadu. And I think that's gonna be my walkout song. I think Mr. Placo is gonna be my walkout song. But good to see you, Xanadu. I'm super excited for that event because you know it's really unique. It's like I don't really like. So when it comes to fighting, it's a protective thing. It's a defensive thing for me. And I think people know how should at least think about it or know how to do it, not per se need to use it, but it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. And I think it'll be entertaining for y'all. Shoot.
Should be something.
Yeah, it should be so. It's gonna be a wild time. All I know is if I would have said no and I would have seen all this happening on with it, I would have just been like kicking myself every night, like wishing I would have done that. Like, oh, I wish I said yes. Wish I said yes. So I mean, I couldn't have missed the opportunity. If I did, I don't know. It'd be, yeah, I wouldn't. It'd be hard to live with myself. Chris Risecker, yeah, no way. Let's see. Johnny Best says, how long will it take to receive my Tangerine Tigers? So we ship out every Wednesday, and so you should get them like next Friday or Saturday. Jim W12, and thank you for your order and support, Johnny. You've been awesome. Jim W12 says, do you ever have a problem with nematodes? How do you deal with them if you do? So I have had issues with nematodes in the past, but they're just like planaria, and you can deal with them the same as you do with planaria. And they have this stuff called planaria, which you can dose into your aquarium and they'll take care of it, which that's just fenbendazole. It's like pain cure C. It's like a dog dewormer, and that'll kill them. But I've never had an issue with like nematodes causing any problems, and it's actually really good food for your fish. Big Steve says, I'd pay a fair price to know that story. Well, Ultramagnetic says, how many inches of sand do you recommend, planted versus not planted? So I usually just go like 2 or 3. I mean, 4's not bad either. But I don't like to go too high because then I start losing tank space. Guppy Love 420 says, Panda Corey's acting irrationally for the first time in 4 months. Parameters are perfect. Just move Guppy Metals out of the tank. Any thoughts? They're acting irrational? Like,
I like Lady Diane's.
what is irrational? Lady Diane's thoughts of what? That question?
Yeah.
Mine get that way when they are getting ready to breed. Oh, well, I hope that's the case. Yeah, maybe that's it. They're getting all wily. They're like, oh, we got this space to ourselves. Those roommates are gone. Slubby-dubby time. Tingrease says, how to sex lamp eye killifish? That's a good question. I really don't know. It's probably a difference between the anal fin. That's the first place I look. If I don't know how to sex a certain fish, I'll look at the back of the anal fin. And there's usually like a pointed one or a rounded one on fishes, and that will sometimes tell you. If not, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell on some fish. Kelly Erich says, I've tried to find the link in your bio for the Fence and Fury support. Where is it? I've only found it on Eventbrite, and they don't list you yet. So when you actually click onto that link and it sends you to Eventbrite, it has a funnel tag on that link. So it has like my affiliation tag to it. So if you buy if you buy something through Eventbrite through that tag, then it goes through my support, and then that goes into like the log or whatever. But the pay-per-view isn't out yet. I don't know how much longer. I think he said it's pretty soon. They're about got it wrapped up. It's been a big to-do to get that going. And Joey's actually, King of DIY, is doing a lot of it, pretty much all of it by himself. So he's been really putting in the work into this event, and like he's really passionate about it. But I think it'll be really interesting. Alright, looks like I made it to the bottom of the chat there, so. And we're over an hour. You guys got me over the hour. Xanadu, gold member, 36 months. Much love to you all. Much love to you all indeed. Especially you, Xanadu. All my members, all you guys watching, all you guys hitting the thumbs up. Get in here, asking questions. I wish I could stay on here longer, but I do have to try to keep... No, I mean, not that I have to keep this short, but I have to get off and go bag some stuff because I got a special day tomorrow ahead of me. Which, members, you guys will get a little sneak peek of that, probably, more than likely. That's the plan, at least, that I'm trying for. But... I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you all. Until next time, everybody. Peace. Have a great one. And yeah, I've already had ice cream, so that's out of the way.